You've seen people sailing on the lakes in the summertime, but have you ever seen anyone ice boating in the winter? The sport has deep roots in the Great Lakes region, and not long ago, I got a chance to try it.
I've been sailing on the Great Lakes my whole life, but there's one kind of sailing I've never done. It's called ice boating, and instead of sailing through the water, you race across the ice on blades. The mechanics are basically the same, but it looks fast and fun. Ron Sherry is the most accomplished ice boat racer in the world, and he calls the Great Lakes home. He's won every title and earned every accolade. At last count, he was the 5-time world champion in his class, 14-time North American champion, and 8-time ice boat world champion title holder. Oh, and he's also an award-winning summer sailor. Ron promised to get me out on the ice, but first I wanted to visit his workshop to learn more about the sport and the ice boats. Because Ron doesn't just race them, he builds them.
Hey, Ron. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So I'm so excited to be here. I've been wanting to check this out forever and check out the sport forever. Tell us where we are and what you do here.
Well, we're in the Composite Concepts shop, and this is where all the magic happens. I build the best, most fun toys in the world, which you're going to get to see today. It's going to be great to see the grin on your face when we come off the ice. Build the fuselages here. That's the hull. It's what you actually sit in. We make them out of Sitka spruce with the Okumi mahogany decks, all minimum thickness, so they're as light as possible. There's minimum weights on all the components, the mast, the plank, and the hull, so we try to get them as close to minimum weight as possible. And that's how we do it here.
I noticed, rather than calling it a hull, you call it a fuselage.
Yeah,
Is using the airplane terminology like an indication of how fast these things can go?
Yeah, I mean, in Finland, the one year I got clocked at 143 kilometers an hour, which is like 94 miles an hour. There was 5 kilometers between the marks when we raced, and it was the 98, and I won my first world championships there, and they had a gun out there, a speed gun, and crazy breakneck speed, you know. But don't worry, you don't have to go that fast unless you want to.
But you can.
Ron races a class of boats called the DN class. DN stands for Detroit News, the legendary newspaper for the city of Detroit. In 1936, the paper held a contest to come up with a design for an affordable, easy-to-build ice boat.
Over the years, you know, they came up with specifications. We're still using basically the same rules with some small modifications. And it's still using a lot of the basic rules as it all started out with. And it's the biggest class in the world. I mean, there's a lot of great ice boats, but the DN class has the most participation. It's huge in Europe.
How many boats do you make in a year?
About 6 to 10, depending on the year. Fuselages.
Yeah.
I built over 1,000, like probably 1,100 masts now for the boats.
Wow.
I've built around 250, 300 hulls. I don't know how many planks. And I build about 150 runners a year.
A passion for ice boating runs in the family. Ron's dad was a 3-time world champion in a class of boats called Renegades. Ron won his first ice boat race when he was 9, so Ron got all 3 of his kids racing when they were very young. His son Griffin has ranked as high as 5th in the world. And the sport has taken Ron to beautiful frozen locations all over the world.
We went out and raced in Montana 2 years ago for the North American Championships, and that was so much fun. Oh my gosh. And I've been to Siberia and raced on Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is a 5,600 foot deep freshwater lake.
DN ice boats have to meet certain standards in size and weight.
These boats are minimum length because of trying to make the boat as light as possible. It actually has a crown in the bottom of it. It goes up 3/4 of an inch under the mast step where the mast goes on top of the hull. So if you actually look down the table, you can see that. So like this boat has a very long cockpit, which is really good for a guy like you.
So I decided to test it out.
Oh, this is a tight fit in here. Oh, I'm actually surprised I can lay down in this thing.
Yep.
But
And
You're in there.
you'll have a helmet on, and there's a piece
And
of
I'm
foam
just-
behind the seat back, and you're able to kind of put your helmet right on the seat
so when
back.
you're sailing, you're just laying in this little box,
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like a luge.
just
And
trying
then-
to be.
And then when you really get going, so you'll steer with your knees. There'll be a tiller that you'll be able to steer with your knees, and then you'll sheet with both hands.
And just
you
yank as hard as I can.
And you're gonna pull the sheet and use the sheet to hold the tiller between your knees so it doesn't pop out.
I'm just imagining myself right now, just going like 60 miles an hour, just right on the ice.
Yeah, with the ice right here.
Yeah.
The good news
Can we
is,
go try
like
it?
I said, the boats only weigh 46 pounds, so there's not a lot
Wow.
of inertia. Like if you hit something, it just crumbles, and you go sliding across the ice. You know, you got a
Is
helmet
that
on and a
Is that
race
supposed
suit.
to be a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's you're
that
not,
doesn't sound
you're
like
gonna
it's a
be
good
safe.
thing.
You're gonna be safe.
I'm feeling excited and I want to go out in the lake. This is awesome.
Well, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go sailing.
Finding the best ice for racing is always a challenge. The surface needs to be relatively smooth and without a lot of snow. On this day, the best conditions were on Walled Lake in suburban Detroit, where a group of racers had been coming to practice for U.S. Nationals.
Last weekend, we had people from Boston, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Traverse City, down in Indiana, Ohio. I mean, everybody came to Walled Lake because it was great conditions. We had 30 boats out on Friday and 50 boats out on Saturday. And it was a lot of the very best of the best of the U.S. were out there. It was fantastic.
It's going. We're almost there.
We're gonna get him going here quick.
We're almost there.
Unloading the gear and putting the boat together is tough with frozen fingers. Once it was all together, Ron had some last-minute instructions.
So when you go to start, you see you pull the tiller back, and when you twist it, it kind of stays.
Okay.
If you leave it straight forward, now when you run off, it's going to go like that, and you're going to
Put a little
a
torque
little
on
twist, right? Trim the sheet into where you want it. I put the tiller like this. I put the sheet over the tiller. That way, if the wind shifts, you get a big lift, and it starts to try to hike. You can just lift up your thumb,
it. Okay.
and the sail goes out. Okay. And then you hold it like this, push off. Outside foot on, slide with the inside foot, and the sheet on.
Cool.
And then when you get going, you move this tiller to where you can easily turn with your knees, remember?
Yep.
And you hold the main sheet over top of it. If the boat does anything like this, you got the tiller between your knees, it's gonna keep the boat going basically straight. So if you can't steer, more sheet. If the back end's loose, breaking loose, ease.
Do you sort of get forward a little bit?
Little
as you're
bit, you
coming
can
around?
bend your
Just
knees
keep
and-
that.
Yep. And that's all of it. And that's a lot to remember in a short period of time, but I think you'll have it.
So it seems Ron thought I was ready, but there's only one way to find out. After some practice, I started to get the hang of it.
Oh wow, every part of my body feels so weird right now. That was like the most fun thing I've ever done. I've been sailing my whole life since I was born. I don't know why anyone sails in normal water. This is the most fun sailing on earth. It is so amazing. You're going so fast. This is the sound. It's odd because it's really loud, but it's almost like dead quiet at the same time. It's really cool. Yeah, I think I won by a little bit. Yeah, I kind of realized that midway through, and I was like, "Ah, we're ripping." That was so awesome. Oh man, I'm gonna buy one of these. These are awesome, like legitimately.
Once I got started, I was blown away with how quickly the boat took off, and surprised with how much it was like the sailing I'd grown up doing. And actually, maybe even a little better.
Like I just got going so fast at one point, I like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, let go of everything. Like, that was awesome. Man, thank you so much. This is just amazing. So cool.
You have to understand that ice boating is inherently dangerous. You're going out on a frozen lake, there can be flaws in the ice, there can be ice fishing holes. So there's a certain amount of adrenaline just getting out there. You're down right next to the ice, you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it feels faster than it actually is just because of how close you are to the ice.
So it was one more race. This time, it was just me and the master.
The most important thing about ice boating is the camaraderie, is the friendships, the people you meet, and the people that are involved in the sailing, have been involved with the sailing, are a very unique group of individuals who are out in battling Mother Nature, battling ice, snow, wind, cold, the whole thing, and trying to get prepared as they can to go out and do it.
At Great Lakes Now, we aim to cover the Great Lakes region and the people who live here, like you. Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our newsletter at greatlakesnow.org.